Hey guys!
Hey everybody, we're Greg and Lisa.
Welcome or welcome back.
All right, here we go. Today, why I canceled my 2025 trip to Trump's America.
Ooh.
I've been hearing that happen.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people doing that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Truth to Power is the name of the channel. We got 58,000 subscribers. We will include a link in the description so you can go and subscribe if you choose. We already did subscribe. And this video has 7,000 views so far.
Likes,
yeah. Yeah, that down here it says 88,000.
Yeah.
So, okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look here.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we see.
Coming up, with sadness, I've decided to cancel my trip to the United States planned for this summer. Regular viewers will know that I worked in the States back in the 90s in the video game and tech industries. Later this year, I was planning to go and revisit some of my old haunts in the San Francisco Bay Area and in New York. But like a growing number of others, the UK government has updated its travel advice now to the United States in the wake of a crackdown on...
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Yeah, the last I heard, there was 10 countries.
Oh, look at that.
Banned.
Entry
or not
requirements.
banned, but
okay.
They're just, it's kind of like how we might get a warning to Afghanistan, like a travel warning saying, hey, watch out.
Let's see here.
So people are getting them for the U.S. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Immigration by the Trump administration, and I've become increasingly concerned that many Europeans are now being detained upon arrival in America.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Is that real?
Yeah. I've heard about it.
Europeans are getting detained?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yep, I've heard about this.
That's crazy.
I know.
Even though they have valid travel visas. Some of their stories are truly shocking. Stay tuned.
Oh.
Shoot, I need some popcorn for this one.
More and more people travelling to America from Europe are finding themselves locked up. The USA is no longer the land of the free.
I can't even, this don't even make sense. Like, people getting locked up, like in jail? Just for going, I don't know. Is this just me? I don't know. Okay, sorry.
For travellers. Under Donald Trump, it's become the land of random detentions, xenophobic crackdowns, and political litmus tests at the border. As I say, I've cancelled my trip this year, and if you're thinking of visiting, you might want to reconsider too. This isn't just my advice. Germany, Canada, Denmark, Finland, and the UK have all issued updated travel advisories warning their citizens about visiting Trump's America. Why? Because...
That's interesting. They call it Trump's America.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never thought I'd see the day of something like that. That's just crazy. Like places that, I don't know, Germany. It's like places that are supposed to be America's friends. We're in Spain, in case you don't know. So
yeah, we moved here. We're U.S. citizens, but we moved here beginning of 2024.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really have no plans to go back. We have family to visit, but man,
no, we're not going back.
I mean, I hope they don't try to detain us. Talking about you shouldn't have left. You didn't stay.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
What was once a routine trip could now end in handcuffs, interrogation, or deportation, even if you've done nothing wrong. Let's start with Rebecca Burke, for example, a young Welsh artist who was jailed for 19 days over a visa technicality. Her crime? She thought a tourist visa covered her stay, which involved providing some light domestic duties in return for accommodation. A simple mistake that anyone could make. But instead of a fine or a warning, she was put into detention and invasively strip-searched, her parents going absolutely spare with worry day after day until their young daughter was eventually deported in chains all those days later.
I mean, what the hell? Does anybody out there think this is okay? I mean, it's just me. Like, I don't understand.
Trump's America thinks it's okay. The
Jesus,
that side of America.
Man, this is amazing. I really am like shocked. I can't believe this.
Then there's 25-year-old German Lukas Silaf, who was shackled and held for 16 days despite having completely valid papers. He was visiting his fiancée in Nevada, a trip he'd made many times before. The pair decided to take her sick dog to a veterinarian in Mexico, where appointments are cheaper and more available. Silaf described a tense interrogation at the border on his way back into the USA.
That's not unusual either, to go across the border to Mexico for medical treatments or dental treatments or anything like that. So that's what they did is not abnormal.
The Border Patrol officer, assuming that Silaf was living unlawfully in the US, trying to skirt the 90-day maximum stay regulation by taking a short trip out of the country. Silaf said he was shackled around his stomach and feet and taken to a detention centre run by US Immigration and Customs.
I know I can hear it now. So I know some people out there saying, well, he shouldn't have left during the time or whatever. It's still crazy. It don't matter what you say. It's still crazy.
As enforcement, ICE, where he was put in a cell with 128 other men. After 2 weeks of hell, and without being told anything about his case at all, he was forced onto a flight to Munich. And
I heard one of these, I don't know if he's going to be telling all the stories, but one of these guys, remember I was telling you that he collapsed of dehydration, so I don't think they're even being properly hydrated, and he was living off of snacks. So he didn't even get proper food.
Did you just tell the end of the book?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to tell that part of the story.
He's just one of 4 German nationals detained for weeks on end by ICE since the beginning of this year. And it's not just Europeans. Jasmine Mooney, a Canadian actress, spent 12 days sleeping on cement floors in a prison, wearing a jumpsuit and in shackles, just because she forgot to fill in one of the boxes on her entry form. During her stay in these horrendous conditions, she was forced to pee in a cup for a pregnancy test. And these aren't just rare examples that I've cherry-picked. They're not even necessarily the worst examples. They're now a commonplace feature of Trump's policy of systemic cruelty enforced by executive orders signed with his favourite Sharpie wedged between his sausage fingers.
Oh.
Come on,
Don't
man.
think he's happy.
Wow. I haven't heard that one. But
Under the American Constitution, the power of the executive, that's basically the president, is meant to be balanced by the judiciary and by Congress. But Trump's plethora of executive orders bypass all that rigmarole, all those checks and balances. Trump has yet to obey a court order or send a piece of legislation for debate in Congress. Instead, he's signing executive order after executive order, acting like king. And his executive orders govern the immigration procedures being followed by ICE. This is all on Trump, personally. Germany's government now explicitly advises its citizens that a visa doesn't guarantee entry into the States. The UK Foreign Office has recently changed its travel advisory guidelines to emphasise that US border agents enforce rules strictly, in inverted commas, meaning one wrong answer could land you in a cell. Finland and Denmark go further, advising transgender people that they're at risk, citing Trump's crackdown on transgender rights. Think about that. Countries that survived Nazi occupation and the Cold War are now telling their citizens, be careful if you're thinking of going to America. That's how far the US has fallen in just a few weeks under the Trump administration. It just gets worse. A French scientist has just been denied entry after border agents scoured his phone and found some mild criticism of Trump's policies.
oh no, not that.
Yeah.
Policies on science and research.
That's
the French
crazy.
Academy of Sciences said the scientist's deportation seriously undermines the fundamental freedoms of the academic world. Freedom of thought, expression and travel. ICE agents are searching phones, dissecting tweets and using political opinions as pretext for refusal of entry. The US is no longer a democracy welcoming dissent. It's a paranoid state where free speech ends the moment you reach American customs.
I think what's terrible is that you have all these ICE agents, all these ICE officers, who are okay with doing his bidding.
I don't know if they're okay, but they have a
I don't
job,
know,
so
you
they
just
can't lose their job. They can take a stance maybe and
but they're not. They're just emboldened by
yeah, it's tough, but it can make it okay because they can separate themselves from doing something bad because they're just saying it's just my job. I don't really want to do this, but it's my job, so I have to do it.
Oh
so,
my God.
Yeah.
In this context, put yourself in my position for a moment. I wanted to visit America this summer, but the Truth to Power channel has had 8 million views in the last couple of years alone, and a significant proportion of those viewers are in America. Many of my videos have been critical of Trump, Musk, and the whole MAGA cult. So, if you were me, would you go through with your plans to visit the States? I think I'd have to be mad. I'm staying put in Europe so that I can continue to bring you my weekly videos, like this one, for which I'd really appreciate a like and for you to share a link on your social media. Also, please check that you'll subscribe with that little notification bell activated, particularly if you've joined as a Truth to Power channel member, as members have the option to gain early access to my videos along with a range of other benefits. Do check out the details using the link below. Now, I realise that I've been talking so far about white Europeans and Canadians. And that's interesting because that's far from the usual ethnicity targeted for inhumane treatment by American ICE officials, pushed by King Trump to deploy an anti-Muslim bias in their activities. Multiple reports now confirm that ICE is also targeting white non-Muslim travellers with pro-Palestinian social media posts, treating solidarity with Gaza as a national security threat. It's no longer about discrimination against certain ethnic groups.
I know some of you out there might be thinking, is America okay with this? I'm going to tell you that there are millions of Americans who are applauding this. They think it's just so great, but it's just crazy to me. But that's what America is these days. Everything you think is weird or, not something that you would do, there's millions of people who think the exact opposite. So.
Groups or religions, Trump's border goons are expanding their dragnet now. If they'll torture a young white female Welsh artist like Rebecca Burke for a mere paperwork error, what's stopping them from detaining a British tourist of any ethnicity whose auntie once tweeted something rude about Lauren Boebert? Or a German student who once rode on a bus with someone whose next-door neighbour attended a protest at a local Tesla distribution centre. I mean, yeah, I'm jesting, but it isn't really funny. These circumstances are now believable in Trump's America. Canada's government is warning, US border agents may detain you for any perceived violation. When even America's former closest allies don't trust its justice system, why the hell should we? The whole world is now voting with its wallets. Tourism Economics predicts a 5.1% drop in visitors to the USA this year, an $18 billion loss to the American economy. Canadian travel to the US plummeted 24% after Trump's trade threats. The New York Times have labelled this the Trump slump. Trump's America First policy is making America the last choice for tourism. And it's a shame because the vast majority of Americans didn't vote for this. Remember, only 32% of those Americans eligible to vote actually voted for Trump. But money spent by visitors to the US fund this regressive, authoritarian, anti-Europe, anti-free speech administration. Every hotel stay, every meal out, every souvenir shop, it all pours taxes into an American machine that deports refugees, targets journalists, and demonizes LGBTQI people. Do you really want to put money into a country with an autocratic mob boss-style president empowering European enemy number one, Vladimir Putin? There are so many other countries you could visit where you won't risk detention and shackles for a wrong-think tweet or a spelling mistake on your entry paperwork.
You can come to Spain.
I'm really sorry not to be catching up with my former American colleagues and friends this year, but I know that each and every one of them support my decision 100%, and several of them are themselves looking at potential exits from a country that is barely recognisable from the one I was so happy to pursue my career in just 30 short years ago. Despite what the MAGA morons believe, it's Europe that's the home of free speech. And until that changes, there's no way, considering my presence on YouTube, that I could trust American border officials not to exact some terrible revenge on me, to punish my exercise of free speech here in Europe, should I ever be mad enough to give them the opportunity to do so. But what do you think? Please leave a comment down below. And if you're a member of the channel, I'd do my best to read it and respond.
Yeah, I would just wait. I would wait unless you absolutely have to go to the U.S. for something.
I just think that's just so crazy. I just can't even, I don't know. I mean, I can believe it's happening, but it's just so messed up that it's happening. So, and it, seems like the majority of America is okay with it happening. The people that are supposed to stop it are not stopping it. So I don't know what's going to happen in that country. So I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, that's part of the reason why we left. We were here when the election happened, but it was all falling apart even before that.
Yeah.
When he first got elected. Mm-hmm. And just because we were there. And, we started a Facebook page.
Oh, you mean the first election?
His first election.
Yeah.
To really kind of fight it. And then it was just like, didn't like the direction the U.S. was going and already was for so long.
Plus, Spain has good food. So,
yeah.
There's that. But all right, well, let's take a look. Let's look at some of the comments here. I don't even know what I think these comments are going to look like. That one's too long. I'm not reading that one. Let's see here. The U.S. voted for
isolation.
No, isolationism.
Oh,
it's only polite for the civilized world to help them achieve that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. All right. I'm an American who lives in the EU. I will never step foot in the USA again.
Well, we probably wouldn't either, but we have family.
We have family there, so I can't say that.
And our moms are older. Yeah.
Let me see here. We Europeans should avoid buying stuff via Amazon. Okay. And Trump-loving Brexiters say the EU were a dictatorship. Unbelievable. All right, one more. Everyone boycott everything to do with the USA.
Yeah.
And there's people in the USA who would be like, good, fine, we'll need you. That's going to be a rude awakening to that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Well, this was good. This is good. There'll be more where these came from. So like and subscribe if you want to see those things, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Bye.